What's going on, YouTube? Jay here. Sorry for the delay. There wouldn't be a huge delay if fragrance companies would put out, some heat, as in extremely great fragrances. But alas, here's my 2014 fall-winter lineup. Um, I'll start with the obvious, which is Montal Intense Cafe. The reason that is a gold bottle fragrance community is because it is only a 1.7 ounce. I believe the 3 ounce 100 ml bottle is the one that comes in purple. I do not know. I got a great deal on that. It has been reviewed a million times, so I won't go into deep details about it. I got a great deal. I paid under $100 for it. Every lineup video, not lineup video, I believe that you need a workhorse scent for every season. I mentioned that Bergamot 22 was my workhorse for the summer and spring, and this is my workhorse for the fall and winter. Great fragrance, great longevity. Like I said, I got a great deal. I paid under $100. Great fragrance. Moving right along, this little beauty, I haven't heard much about this company. Well, I've heard a little bit about it, but not this particular fragrance. This is Shea and Blue. Don't know if you can see that. And it's called Salt Caramel. This is the packaging that it comes in. Nice little box, nice little ribbon. Some information. Shea and Blue, London. This is only 30 mil, but I paid another great deal. I paid $40 for it. I believe that it's 50. Online, you can find this at Indigo Perfumery. Now, I believe it was Moody Boo and Renee Zayas that made me interested in a caramel fragrance. They mentioned Lyra by Xerjoff, which is astronomically priced. Good fragrance, very good fragrance. I bought a sample of it when they mentioned how great it was, and about a week later, I got a sample of Salt Caramel by Shea and Blue. Humongous price difference, guys. I think the 100 ml for this fragrance is only $90 versus I think the Xerjoff is what, $340. I'm not sure. And to give you a little insight on this, they say that this allegedly contains 2 pounds of woods and vanilla. Do not quote me. That's what the fragrance information says. To all my gourmand lovers, get your nose on this immediately. Very, very boozy type fragrance. The top notes are liquid caramel and sea salt. Heart notes or middle notes are tonka bean. Base notes are bourbon, vanilla, sandalwood, and that's it. Now at the top, you're going to get that stark contrast between salt and caramel, and it is a tad bit linear, but that's a good thing because this is a dream. I believe another reviewer that I admire a lot, Maximilian, he says that women prefer that men wear gourmand fragrances. This will make you edible. And this is not a masculine fragrance. It is a very sweet, edible, delicious gourmand. Delicious is the word that I would put to this fragrance if I had to describe it in one word. Longevity is pretty great. I get about 6 to 8 hours, and I wore it on the weather in Chicago. I'm always talking about the weather like I'm a freaking weatherman, but it's just up and down like a roller coaster here. I wore this on a date, and this just did wonders for me. I'm not going to let you guys get into my marriage business, but yeah, guys, not trying to create hype like Hero used to do, this is a phenomenal fragrance for $40 or even $100 if you opt for the 100 mil. Now let's get to the piece de la resistance, if you will. Also, before I move on, salt caramel has a very buttery aspect to it. Think butter popcorn from the theater. Now, I know that's weird to hear, but just the thickness of this fragrance, I don't know, I guess I could use the word sticky aspect to this fragrance. It is a very, 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 very good fragrance for under $100. And even if you opt for the 30 mil like I did, I believe that it's $50. If you want that buttery caramel fragrance with that salt that it's almost, it grabs your attention. I almost said stinging aspect, but that, I think there is a negative connotation to the word stinging. It grabs your attention. It's gonna, if you walk past someone, it's gonna grab their nose and say, "Hey, this is me. I smell amazing." That's what it does. Now moving on. Now the reason I have 2 bottles from this company, Slumberhouse. As you can see, I recently made a fragrance pilgrimage to LA. I know, right? Pilgrimage. I believe that every fragrance reviewer, fragrance aficionado, collector, whatever word you want to use, they should visit some of these amazing perfume shops. And sad to say that my city doesn't have one. We have Barney's, we have Neiman's, we have Saks, Nordstrom's, all that good stuff. But it just doesn't do justice for people like us, in my opinion. Slumberhouse, they raised the freaking prices. I believe I paid $120 for my pear and olive, and this is the old bottles, kind of marble aspect to it. Only 30 mils, but it's a parfum extract. This is the new bottle. I prefer the old bottle, and I prefer the old prices because to me it was a steal. Now let's get into some very finite details. Pear and olive is my number one for summer. To me, it is the greatest fragrance I have in my collection. Yes, pear and olive is just amazing for summer. Just amazing. And a good friend of mine gave me samples of the rest of the line. As I was going through I went through about, to be honest, 30 fragrances while looking for my fall and winter lineup. 30 samples. This one stood out by far. Killed everything, every other sample. I have it on my wrist right now. My God. To my gourmand lovers and my chocolate lovers. Moody Boo, I'm talking to people like you. Wow. This thing, oh my God. Slumberhouse's Ore, by the way, if I didn't mention that. This is the new bottle. Says Ore right there. Cap says Slumberhouse. This is the packaging that it came in. You see it says Slumberhouse Ore right there. Now I did mention parfum extract. Let's be clear. This thing stained. Now I'm gonna see if I can get you guys to see this. You see that brown right there? This thing is so powerful that it stained the styrofoam on the way back to Chicago. I bought this at Lucky Scent's physical location, Scent Bar in LA. Amazing place. One of the best fragrance stores I've been to. And the reason I say that is they categorize the fragrances, whether it be boozy, citrus, floral. It was right there, you know, and they give you 4 free samples whether you buy anything or you don't. I could have spent hours in this place. I was with my wife and I didn't want to. She's not interested, but oh my God. I could have spent at least 3 hours in this place. It's a small place, but it's so well put together that, like I said, I could have spent hours in this place. Okay, nonetheless, let's get into the bread and butter. Opening is deep and very dark chocolate. Let's get into the notes. The notes are oak wood, cocoa, mahogany, gaiac, dittany of Crete or oregano, vanilla, whiskey, lactone, Peru, and resin. Let's stay with the resin for 1 second. Everybody who's familiar with Guerlain knows that the Guerlain DNA is called Guerlainade. And what that means to the people that don't know is it's a similar note or DNA that all of their fragrances carry. It's extremely good. Guerlain happens to be one of my favorite houses. I actually, Dan, my makers, I just got in on a split of Spiritus Double Vanille, the vanilla fragrance, to do some really, really good testing on that. That might be my second purchase from Guerlain. I own Queer Beluga. It's my favorite leather fragrance as of right now. And like I said, Guerlainade is Guerlain's DNA. Well, Slumberhouse also has the same type of DNA, but theirs is balsam. And balsam, think deep, resinous, syrupy, sap-like ingredient. The parent olive also shares this same DNA, the deep aspect to it. In the beginning, oh my God, I just get these, think deep, dark chocolate coffee beans, freshly ground coffee beans, if that makes sense. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't know if there's a such thing as chocolate coffee, but that's what I get. It's the best chocolate fragrance I've ever smelled. When I set out for my fall and winter picks, my 3 ingredients I think were caramel, and I solved that, chocolate, and I solved that, and cinnamon. Still testing for the cinnamon. I do have a surprise at this end of this video to show you guys what may be the final cinnamon decision, but I just want to get this video out. Ore by Slumberhouse is kind of linear. The chocolate and I get chocolate, whiskey, and a little bit of vanilla you can put in there, and that Slumberhouse DNA, which is the balsam. These things just marry together, and you just have this deep gourmand chocolate party going on your skin. It is amazing. Longevity, sillage, these are things you don't even need to think about with this fragrance. It is expensive, $160 for only a 30 ml, but out of everything that I smelled, which was, I want to say I tried about 10 chocolate fragrances out of that 30. It was about 10 for each note that I was looking for. This was the best. This intrigued me. I love the weirdness of this house. This is not a chocolate fragrance for people who are just now getting into fragrances. This is not a chocolate fragrance for people that like light fragrances. No, that is not this. This is deep, dark, resinous, thick chocolate. I would even go as far as to say this is a between the sheets fragrance for all of my women who love to smell chocolate and love for their man to have a gourmand fragrance on. Check this out. Okay. To end this fragrance video, my 2014 picks for fall and winter, I am currently sampling none other than a private collection from Minn, New York. I went to Minn, New York earlier this year. Had a club.